You mentioned before 85,000 airmen and airwomen underneath you, and on top of that, $60 billion budget, which is bigger than a lot of Fortune 500 companies. What are you doing to attract some of the brightest and most talented people out there for your research, development, implementation, testing, sustainability? What are you doing for that?
So my father ran a small business. He passed away a few years back. If he knew I was in charge of $60 billion, he didn't even trust me to drive a car. After I was a test pilot and flying B-2s, he didn't even trust me to drive a car. I can only imagine what my old man would be doing right now if he realized that was how much money we were running through the place. You touched, though, on one of the things that is a key ingredient that we've got to stay focused on, and that's our workforce. Our workforce is the most, anybody that wants to say they got a diverse workforce, I'm happy to play cards with you on that one, and I'm pretty confident that I will probably win as we go forward. For our workforce, we have everything from 19-year-olds right out of tech school that are working in our depots trying to do maintenance on aircraft, to PhDs that are doing critical research, to one of the examples, and when we talk about diverse, most people say male, female, or they immediately think of ethnicity. But when you got PhDs, you got masters, you got pilots, you got contracting, you got security forces, you got young airmen who are wearing a uniform, you have young airmen who are civilians who don't wear the uniform. I mean, we're very diverse. One of the, we talk about 19-year-olds coming in, young men and women wearing the uniform, coming out guarding the gate. The day before I took command, a lady out of Edwards Air Force Base who had worked for me before, her name was Pat Henrich, retired. 68 years of government service. Okay, working in the maintenance group, doing logistics, planning, and doing that. So we are very diverse. Recruiting in this job environment is really hard. On the military side, what we're encountering is a large number of our young high school students and young men and women don't meet what we need for the physical requirements to be able to serve in our military. That's one that we're watching, and we're all scrambling for that talent with the Army and the Navy and the Marine Corps and us all competing in the areas with the same people. So that's one area that we're very focused on and we're worried about. The other one is our civilian workforce. And what we are trying to get there as we go into particularly some of these newer high-tech areas where we're doing hypersonics, or we're doing cyber defense, or we're doing software coding so that we can push software to the field in days versus years. Because that's what we're doing now. In some cases, we're doing our own. We got to figure out how we recruit them, get them on board quickly, and reward and award them so that we can retain them. Our philosophy is if I can bring you in and give you meaningful work and let you understand how that meaningful work contributes to the nation's defense and that you're part of something bigger, despite the fact that I can't pay you at the same level that industry can, then we're trying to motivate our people to stay. That's the best thing we've got. The other one we've really got to do, and this goes into why I tell the story about Pat Henrich, because we have multiple generations in the workplace. What a young 19 or 22-year-old college graduate wants for a reward is not what someone who's got 40 years of government service wants for a reward. That person that's got 40 years may want to get a medal pinned on them in front of a big crowd and have praise to them. The young 22-year-old, they just may want a day off or they may want money. And we've got to find a way with our antiquated personnel system to be able to balance that out so that we can bring these young men and women in and hold on to them, because they're the foundation. They're the foundation. It's not the airplanes. It's not all that stuff. It's our airmen that make the true difference each